Ron, how are you today? First of
Oh,
all, I want to say to you, welcome and thank you for being on this show today. Because I'm so glad that I was able to bring you in. Such I've been following you for quite some time, and I see you got a lot of talent in what you do. You're a great motivator.
I
So,
appreciate that.
Ron, tell me a little bit about how I know that you've been in the car business, what, a decade or a little
Yeah,
bit?
about a decade, yeah.
Yeah. How do you like the car business?
Man, if I would have known about this 20 years ago, I wouldn't have sold newspaper advertising or radio advertising. I would have just went right straight in the automotive business.
Great. And what is it that you do in that dealership?
I'm the finance director here. Also, I'm the third sales manager. So if the sales desk gets backed up, they bring their deals to me, and I'm also their lead sales trainer here.
Great. Do you do a lot of subprime deals or do you do conventional deals?
We do some subprime. We got Santander Regional. Credit acceptance is our big one that we use.
Oh, wow, that's good. And Ron, let me ask you, do you have a training program in your dealership currently?
We do, and I'm kind of like part trainer with them also with the organization, and they use some of my content and put on their show. On their platform, so people get to watch my training videos as well.
I'm so glad that you brought that up. I see you a lot on social media, right? Are you doing any promotions on social media? Are you doing any ads or are you doing it just organically? What is it that you're doing?
I just turn on the camera and I just post my content on Facebook, on LinkedIn. I actually just use my cell phone and get on iMovie, and I record my content, put in my logos, and then I start just sharing them all over social media and the groups and whatnot that will have me.
Great. Ron, I'm changing my banner now. How do you win during these times, with coronavirus? Do you have a process that helps the consumer, get to digital retailing? Do you have anything in place right now?
When it comes to digital retailing, we do have where customers can, like on the product side, we send them an email. The program that we use is Darwin. We send it to them. They can pick out any kind of protection that they want. If they see that gap's important to them, or your tire ding and dent, your windshield, and we send it through an email or a text message, and they get to pick and choose. We actually get to see on the screen what they're pick and choosing, so we can be on the phone with them, explaining a little bit what the product does for them. As soon as they pick and choose, they'll see what their payment is. They'll see how much more a month their payment will go up, and then they'll hit submit. Then it goes back onto our side, and then we send them another link so they can sign with their finger or with their pen, and then they're able to get that locked down in stone. We also have a way to send them contracts, your buyer's order, your contract, your odometer statement, through our we use Dealer Track. So we send it through Dealer Track, and they can also sign there. So the customers don't have to come into our dealership to buy a car. The salesman takes them the car, they sanitize it, let the customer test drive it. If all the numbers are agreeable, then the finance manager sends them all the paperwork. They e-sign, we hit submit, we get funded within 3 minutes with the bank that we use.
That's awesome. Ron, I have one of my partners that has a warranty company called Warranty Chimp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what it is, it's an e-commerce for warranties. So if your store is not within the penetration, a lot of customers leave and then they get a warranty from someplace else. They go online, they shop it or whatever. So our process is we're putting dealers on this platform, right? And you have your own dashboard and all that. And what it has, I've put a few used car dealers on it. What it has is increased their penetration, right?
Yeah.
Now, used car dealers, it's great that it's increased their penetration, but on the new car side, the beautiful thing about increasing your penetration is you're increasing your retention in service, right? So It's a really good product. A lot of customers, you tell them that at delivery, and then I got to think about it. You try to deal with the objection. You turn every stone. They still got to think about it. Right. So imagine sending out an email to that customer the next morning. Hey, Mr. Customer, why don't you buy it right online outside of your contract? You don't have to finance it. We offer zero interest for 18 months.
Right. And I want to say something about buying it outside of the dealership. Now, keep in mind, you got those mom and pop shops that they'll say, "Hey, buy a warranty right now," and a couple months down the road, that business is out of business.
Right.
Your warranty doesn't mean anything. So, what we try to do here, the finance managers and myself, is we sell the warranties because our owner has a hand in our warranty, so he makes sure that it's legit. So we tell him, hey, be the one-stop shop. Get your warranty here, so when you come here that your mechanical issues are going to get taken care of. You know that you're not going to have any hassle. You know that we honor everything that we say, and if you get it done here, you can sleep at night knowing that your vehicle is fully protected as long as the term.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, because it took us about a year to put this together. And it's a very well-known warranty company, which is Royal. A lot of dealerships are using it nationally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Royal is a very good, respectable company. So that's why it took us a long time to make it e-commerce. Right. And it took us a year. It just so happens that Corona came into play. Right. But we were developing this a year ago. So now it's available. I'm just sharing with our audience what we have. And it's with a really respectable warranty company. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they take care of everything. And it's a great solution for a dealership. The real solution is, so you sell a car to me. 2 years from now, I'm out of equity. Okay. I only have so much money down. I'm into a used car, right? So now you can't even put a warranty because the advance, your LTV is so much money you're going to get.
Right.
Right. So now you're able to trade a customer out and get that extra value of the warranty right on e-commerce.
Right.
So now you, the dealer, is protected with that. That's really the solution that there is. So it's going to increase, of course, your penetration just based on the solution that we found. So we know that data-wise, right, the average consumer, right, trades in a car 2.5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're out of equity on that vehicle, and not because you made so much money on the car, it's because if that car's sitting on your lot 120 days and it depreciated, when that customer gets it, even though you break even, that car is already leaving your lot a little bit upside down, right? Then depreciation catches up. Now when they come, they're upside down $5,000 or $6,000, right? Or $7,000. They have $2,000 now. You only have so much money. So if you get the advance all up front, minimize your chargebacks, because what happens with a lot of stores, they get the advance, but then they put it towards the back end, right?
Right.
If you work the deal the right way, you get the money up front for the dealer, and now the warranty is financed through this company. So now you're really earning for the dealership,
right?
Instead of setting up a chargeback. Because that customer can go home and call the finance company and say, you know what, I don't want this warranty. And now you're creating a chargeback with us. At least you're protected your front end money,
Right.
So it's just a thought. And that's happening a lot in the car business now. And that's why we have enough data right now to look at, there's a real good solution for a new car franchise. That being said.
Right. And then you got some of those new car franchises that their warranties, like Volkswagen's was $672. Well, it's kind of hard to sell a warranty when you're doing 76% leasing, and you can't sell a warranty on that because the term is smaller than the warranty is. But the good thing about it is when you make it into a certified pre-owned, you tag on another 1 year, 12,000 mile warranty. So now you got 7 years, 84,000 miles on a CPO.
Right.
So, I mean, when you're looking at a new or a CPO, and let's say that CPO only got 10,000 miles, you're going to get a bigger warranty than you would if you bought a brand new car. So, with all these companies bringing their warranties out even more, 5-year 60, 4-year 50, it makes it kind of hard to be able to sell a vehicle service contract if you're doing leasing. Now, if you're doing retail, it's a different story. You can tag on a longer term to 100,000, 125,000 miles, but it's selling the value. And the problem is people in the finance department accept no way too quick and not fact find on why they don't want to extend out. If they're driving 20, 30,000 miles a year, they're going to be out of their warranty. So you want to sell the value of why it's important to protect their vehicle in that long term if they're going to drive that many miles, because in the long run, you're not going to come up to me when I see you in the service department and complain that I bumped you up $60. You're going to come up to me and thank me because I sold you extra protection on a warranty when you came out of your mileage.
And that's a good point, and I agree with you. The CPO is so great right now, but it's really the solution is for that, for consumers that are upside down, and the dealer maximizes all their upfront money, and you protect the dealer. And I think it's a pretty good solution. There's a few dealers that are using it as that. So I just wanted to throw it out there and see what your thoughts are, since you're a finance director.
Yeah.
And I think that you really know what you're doing. And I really think you would see some value in it. But on the other side of that, Ron, so you have digital retailing available now to your customers, which is a very good thing. And how are you doing with this whole coronavirus?
If we didn't turn on the TV, we wouldn't even know about the coronavirus. I remember the day we were in our manager meeting. It was a Monday morning, and we were talking about, okay, how's this going to affect us? And we were discussing, if we don't make an issue of it, we'll be fine. And we didn't think Amarillo, Texas was going to get affected by it. And we turned on the TV because one of my finance manager's wives texted him and said, hey, they're going to shut Amarillo down. So we turned on the TV. Well, we did all the precautions. We had our hand sanitizer, our disinfecting wipes. We had our masks. We had our spray. And it was very funny. And some of our employees took furlough. But then we got busy. We got busier than ever. Wow. And it was just like, man, some of these other dealerships, they got shut down because they had they still had a full staff. But we kept getting busier and busier and busier. We've broken records since this COVID has happened.
Wow.
Last month, we sold 100 new cars when we were projected to only sell 30 from this store. We sold 100.
Wow.
CPO, we sold 65, 135 used. Finance broke an all-time record in product sold, and we broke records in gross profit from the finance department. So, it's really how you have your mindset. It's all about taking care of the customer. It's all about pleasing them. We had the safety precautions. If they were ready to put the mask on, we had a mask, we put it on. We only had one customer that would stay 12 feet away from the finance manager, and he would ask a question. He would walk outside. The finance manager would go to the desk out in the showroom. He would look at what the question the customer had. He would walk 12 feet away from the desk. The customer would come back into the dealership, and then they would talk that way. But we only had one customer that freaked out over this COVID. Everybody else, they were like, yeah, bring us the car, bring us the paperwork, or you know what? Never mind. We'll just come in there. We have signs saying only the buyer and co-buyer could enter our office because, they'll bring their kids, they'll bring the rest of their family members, their third baseman. And we just wanted the buyer and the co-buyer to come into our office. And the majority of the time you put a mask on, they just tell you to take it off. They felt that they were safe with us, and we felt that we were safe with them. And not one associate here at the dealership had COVID.
Wow, that's good. Congratulations. Ron, Frederick has been saying, way to go, Ron.
Thank you, Frederick.
he's really a real mindset guy. He has really taken it to the next level. I mean, through this coronavirus, he probably sold more cars than a lot of people did. I mean, in New York, it's been shut down for quite some time. Everybody's been like, but different states have been
Hmm.
doing good. I mean, the state of Georgia's been doing really good. The state of Florida's been doing good. Ohio's been doing good as a whole. And Frederick has really maximized his whole opportunity, and he's really good. They call him the subprime hero. I know him for quite some time now, and he's really, really unbelievable. And he's a little bit like you. He's been on my show. He's a motivator also, and I saw what he was doing, and it was great. And the thing with him was that he's unbelievable as a motivator, and he's another one that has so much talent. I think he's going to be a dealership really soon, a new car franchise. Well,
Wow.
because he's that good. He's been 20 years in the business. He knows what he's doing. He's unbelievable what he's done, and he knows how to merchandise himself, and he knows how to market himself down more than I've ever seen anybody do.
The good thing about, with Frederick and our dealership here is, what else was the customers going to do? Make babies and buy cars, right?
Right.
So if you don't want to make a baby, come buy a car. And that's what customers were doing.
Right. And a lot of states have maximized their opportunity because other stores have been more cautious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that have a process, and like, let's take the Jim Ellis group. They take temperatures every morning of the staff. My good friend Brandon is the corporate trainer there. They got 18 dealerships. Let me tell you, they have a process with this coronavirus. Somebody has a temperature or something, they're shutting down. There's no question about it. They're strict about it. So the dealerships that I think have this process, okay, really, really are gonna succeed with a virus like that. There he is, Frederick again. Make babies or buy cars. I love it, Ron. Yeah, right. So it's really, really important today what's going on. As long as you have that process, you're gonna overcome anything that's out there. What are your thoughts on that?
It's all about your mindset. It's all keeping a positive attitude. It's not for you, it's for the customer. And if you take care of them and treat them right, Volkswagen's got a slogan: drive something bigger than yourself. And that's what we believe in. That's what we do here, is we want to take care of our customer. So we go out of our way. We put our foot forward, best foot forward, and we take care of them. They're part of our family. If they need their vehicle worked on, we'll come and get their vehicle. If they're a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, and they need to get to work, let us get the car. We'll pick up the car. We'll loan you one of ours. We'll take yours into the shop. We'll work on it. When we're done, we'll drop it back. We'll sanitize yours. We'll drop it back off to you. We'll take ours back, and we'll sanitize ours, and we'll put it back on the line. But we want to take care of our customers, and it comes to, you have to think positive. You have to have positive results. And if you think that this COVID-19 is going to stop you, it's going to stop you. Remember what Henry Ford said: if I think I can, or if I think I can't, you're right.
Right.
If you think this is going to stop you, you're right. If you don't think this is going to stop you, you're right. And it never stopped us. I mean, record-breaking months from March all the way to last month. We were killing it. And it was because we cared about our customers. They're going to they're going to buy cars, or they're going to make babies. They're going to pay more making babies than they would buy cars. So we had our doors open. We did what they asked. If they wanted us to put a mask on, we put a mask on. They wanted us to sanitize our whole body, we would do it at that time also. But we wanted to make them feel comfortable when they walked through our store, that we were going to take care of them, and we were more concerned about their health than them buying a car.
Wow, that's Ron, that's a really good point. Ron, we always working with new solutions and new partnerships, and we're just moving around, right? Because the digital marketing business, what works today doesn't work tomorrow, and what worked yesterday doesn't work today. So we came up with a solution, which is Facebook mynewcar.com, right? Organically. So the search and the analytics on this tool between Twitter, Facebook groups, and everything is off the walls, right? And organically, we came up with this solution, and it's a great solution where people get their own landing page and all that, and it's great for lead gen. And me myself, I'm a lead gen. We have a company called ShopSmartAutos.com, and it's a little bit like the other search engines, but the difference between me and them is I only sell you the lead. I never charge a dealership to be on there, or I don't charge you in the dealer directory either. I charge you based on leads.
Mhm.
So your competitors on there, I got over, I think 5.7 million cars, because the whole feed of the entire inventory is there, because I'm a lead gen, right? So that's what I do. I could be having right now maybe 30 or 40 leads in your marketplace. I don't charge anybody for it. For being honest, a subscriber, I only charge per lead. And right now, the automotive industry is becoming a lot into lead gen, because they're tired of spending all this money with a marketing company, and then that marketing, they get 35 leads that cost them 10 grand, just forms, right? We have the most data for our leads, but it doesn't work, because you're spending all this money. Your ROI is very bad. So we give you per lead basis. So if there's 100 leads, you're going to get them 100 times 35 or $40, whatever it is, right? And that's what it is. And it's more feasible for you, right? Because we do the marketing, because that's what we're good at. We're good at automation marketing, digital marketing. We're good at that. So that's a solution that we're brought into the dealership with coronavirus. We developed this solution because dealers are spending all kinds of money. They're hitting the wrong audience. We go after the custom audience, actually people that are in the market for a car. And how we know that is based on registrations, right? So if Richie Bello purchased a car 2 years and 6 months ago, and his lease is up in 6 months, we start marketing him, right?
You got to.
Through Facebook. So that's what we do. Facebook, Instagram, and that's how we do it. Google. And that's what we do. We hit custom audience and custom audience only. And, it works for us, and it works for the dealerships that they're on, which is very, very important.
Do you think that, with Facebook and the social media and the internet leads that are coming in now, do you think the majority of the dealers out there are catching on, realizing that the up bus is not coming anymore? It's slowing down.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. So let's say you get a lead, right? We get the same lead. The only difference is we send out an email, which is a trigger, right? It's a funnel, it's a sales funnel. And we ask the consumer, when are you in the market for? Give me a time frame. How's your credit? What's household income? Right? And are you going to be doing a loan or a finance? What's your trade? We ask them all these important questions. We lose 50% of the leads. So when we give you a lead, it's got all the information, a qualified lead. That's the thing that we do. Garbage is 50%, because name, phone number, email, and telephone, and make and model. I can be at 7 o'clock looking at your website as a customer. Okay, so I want to get a car. My wife comes in at 8:30, says, we can't get a car now. So now you call them up, and it's over. As far when you send out a funnel and an email marketing first, qualifying the lead, they'll either commit, or they'll hit unsubscribe, or they'll say, we're not interested no more.
Right.
And that's what happens a lot. So what we try to do is, when we give you a lead, it's fully qualified.
And you got to realize that the BDC is not a business development center. It is a big dollar center. That's the heart and soul of the dealership.
Right.
When you look online and you figure out you're going to want to buy this 2020 Passat, and you put that lead in and you give all your information, the car deal starts right there. Then it starts flowing through the veins and going to the right salesperson, to the right desk manager, so we can make that deal happen. And there's so many dealers out there that don't understand a BDC is really important. They're back in the day, they were just the department in the back. No, right now they're essential. They're essential right now.
Absolutely. And whatever they tell that customer, That's what's going to get the customer in the door. Once the customer comes in the door, however that salesperson performs, that's either going to get you the lead or not.
And
so it's a two-pronged process. It's the BDC's going to get them in the door, okay? And then when they come in the door, that salesperson's got to be ready, aim, fire. He's got to be ready to rock. And you know what? Even if the appointment is great, if that salesperson is not as good as that appointment, as good as that BDC, you're not going to have a deal. So with the lead gen that we've developed, it's really conversion. Our stores deliver at least 15 to 16%, right? But let's say you sign up with our store, with our deal, right? The thing is, we offer you training too, right? Different than any other lead gen. We have, top trainers like Brandon. He's been a trainer for a very long time, and that's what he does, right? So he's a corporate trainer, right? So he'll find out if you're not at 15 to 16% delivery. So 100 leads, you should deliver 15 cars, right? Based on the qualified of the lead, how we send you the lead. If you don't, we send in a trainer. So he does an assessment for you right online, and he tells you what you should be doing with recommendations. And who is he? He's a very successful trainer for the Jim Ellis Group. He was with DCH a very long time, which is bought by Lithia. He was with Ford as a CPO trainer, so he's got tremendous credentials on, and you've probably seen him on my Facebook and on my wall. He's got tremendous content. I'm always posting him on Richie Bello blogs and all that because his content is great, and he's a great trainer. So that's what we do. We just don't sell you the lead. If it doesn't work, we send in training, because we feel that stores need training. Fortune 50s and Fortune 500 companies are spending about 4 to 5% of their income in training.
Training is essential in this business.
It's absolutely. And you want to know something? Here's what it is with training. We know that when we hire a salesperson, right, what carries him to be the top salesman the first 60 days is enthusiasm. That's it. He'll outsell you a top guy. After that, he drops. Why? Because he's lost his enthusiasm. So what does training do for that? Well, training increases your learning curve, increases your motivation, right? Yeah. Now your enthusiasm carries over. The whole B12 of the car business is enthusiasm with a learning curve. That's it. That's how you're going to get to that level.
When I got in the car business, I was told there's a car lot, this is a computer, and that database is a CRM. Good luck. Sold 2 cars my first day, not knowing what I was doing, but I was so green and so enthusiastic and motivated. When someone told me, Ron, you can make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in the car business, man, I was a sponge. I was learning everything I needed to learn. But where I was at, they didn't have any material, no videos, no books, no nothing. So I had to go online and type in how to be a car salesman in the car dealership. And Jim Ziegler's how to sell a car, his video, I can still remember it, 58 minutes, 46 seconds. I watched that thing inside and out to learn what I needed to learn. Now it was for managers, how to pencil a deal and whatnot. So that got me intrigued. But, my first year in the car business, out of 500 in the auto group, I was number 1. First time ever in the town I was at. First time anybody from that dealership got to go to a sales banquet. And, I was told one time, the guy goes, man, you must be making $250,000 a year. And I laughed. I was like, man, I'm making $96,000. He goes, you sold 261 vehicles and you mean $96,000? I said, yeah. He goes, is that award really worth it? I said, what do you mean? He goes, I sold half of what you made and I made 200,000.
Right.
So it got me thinking, is it, you can have the mixture of both, sell a lot of cars, make a lot of money, but I was selling all these cars, but making no money.
Right.
And then when I started thinking about it, it was all about, okay, now I need to make more money. How do I make more money? So I had to train myself. So I started watching videos, reading books, learning the bad habits from the lot dogs. And okay, I know not to say that. I know not to do this. And just, picking everybody's brain on on Facebook and saying, okay, I'm new to the car business. What do I do? How do I do this? And just gradually, from your Grant Cardones, from closing to your Sean B. Bradley's for BDC to Steve Richards on how to talk about penciling a deal. It's just I started watching these videos every night.
Right.
Training. So it bothers me when you get a new guy gets hired on as a salesman and you do, that's a lot. That's a computer. This is a database. It's called a CRM. Good luck. These guys ain't going to last 30, 60 days.
No.
And you put money in this. You gave them guarantees. Okay, you got a 90-day guarantee. Well, I'm going to pay you $2,000 a month. There's $6,000 out the door.
And the stores that have a training program are the stores that are hitting their market share. They're penetrating their market. I mean, the numbers don't lie, I mean, what's good about the car business, everything is data. Car business is big on big data, everything is data. It's always been like that since Henry Ford. That's why R.O. Polk and Company existed. It was a data company, right? So we share that data and that information with dealers and say, listen, you're not. So training does help a lot a dealership. The stores that are like the Jim Ellis Group, like Rick Case, like Sonic, like Auto Nation, like Penske, those stores all have corporate trainers, right? That's their job. Their job is 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock, just doing training.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So those are the stores that are successful, and you can see it on their numbers. You can see the value of training. You can see the value of giving somebody knowledge and taking these managers that they have and these directors to that next level. Very, very important. A store out in Arizona, BMW, right? Scottsdale BMW. It's owned by the Penske Group. Let me tell you, that's amazing. With the training they spend there, it's amazing. They're penetrating their market and they're controlling the market, not only on their brands, but on conquest sales. And that's because of all the training they do. They really spend big money on training. So the stores that do that really get a big return for it.
I mean, if you think about it, the salesmen don't work for us. We work for them. If they sell a car and they hold gross and they make money, we get paid. If they don't sell cars, they don't get paid.
Exactly.
So they're like in the Army. They're the infantrymen. They're out there in the foxhole. They're in the trenches. They're the ones that are producing all those sales for us. And if we don't train them on and teach them how to sell cars, how to overcome objections, how to close more deals, then we're going to die. We're going to last in the dealership. So training them every single day, coaching them, giving them the motivation, letting them know, hey, I'm behind you 100%. You tell me what I need to do to make you better. I'm there for you. If we just ignore them, they're going to go work at McDonald's. They're going to make $13 an hour flipping hamburgers, and they're not going to have anybody believe in them. And that's what we do here. We believe in our salespeople. They're essential in this business for us to make money.
And you know what? I'm going to share something with you. You did a very good job because you learned how to sell a car first. A lot of people get into the business and learn how to gross, and they don't do anything. Once you learn and you master how to sell a car, then you go and say, okay, now I know how to sell a car. I got a lot of confidence. Those are the guys that become the superstars in this business, the guys that sell the car volume, and then all they got to do is concentrate on gross. You did it right. Let me just tell you, probably you didn't know, but you did it right perfectly. You learned how to sell a car. Your confidence was big, cockiness, which is good. Right now, you know how to do it. Now, the next thing you did was maximize your gross profit. That makes you tremendous, powerful as the guys that know how to sell a car in gross, and they can never get to that 15 cars, right? So now you know how to take every deal and maximize your opportunity. That's lethal. So congratulations on that. I am so impressed. It's been a long time that I haven't heard a guy say that. And I'm so impressed because that's the right way.
And it, you know, the GM that we had at the time, I'm not talking bad about him, but he got to the point where he was just becoming lazy. So he was showing me how to submit deals, how to check credit, how. So I was getting the old school training, knowing, okay, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to do what he asks, because in the long run, it's going to benefit me when it comes to running my own store. So, you know, moving in from a salesman straight into a GM position, I mean, it was ready to rock and roll. The only thing I had to do was train the guys that I was salesman with and teach them how to sell cars my way, due to the fact they weren't selling cars. They weren't making any money, and I was making all the income. So I had to, hey, okay, now we need to step it back. Let's not worry about closing deals. Let's learn about our cars. The product's going to sell itself, yes, but you, my friend, you have to sell yourself to the customer. If they could buy that car anywhere in the United States, but why would they buy it from you? So I have to teach them how to sell themselves to their customer, so the customer will buy from them. Then we learned about closing. Then we learned about overcoming objections. Then we learned about asking for the business. And, you know, I had 5 sales guys. I was 1 GM, and I had a finance guy. So I had to teach my guys how to close their own deals because I was so busy. And now with coming over here to Street Volkswagen, I took those guys with me. And they're my top selling guys here at this dealership because they were the same way. They know how to close deals. So they're helping the newbies on the floor. Hey, I can't get this customer to commit. What do I do? They go there, they ask the right questions, they close the deal, and they're like, how'd you do that? They said, if you just listen to Ron, he will make you money.
Wow.
And it's just because my guy, when I moved into the GM position, I looked at them and I'm like, these are the guys that are supposed to make me a paycheck. How am I going to do that when they don't know how to do their job? So I had to step back and teach them how to sell cars first, then maximize gross later.
Wow, Ron, it's great having you. I got to tell you, man, you're really, I'm impressed. I really look forward to our next live. I want to bring you more into the show. I want to bring you into automotive training news, right? Because you have so much content and you can help so many of the dealers out there. And I thank you again for joining me. And I really appreciate that, to meet somebody like you, and I started following you. Then I asked you to be your friend and you accepted it. Thank you so much. I feel privileged, and have a great day. And is there anything else you would like to share?
Guys, remember, you got to have a goal in this business, and goals are the greatest opportunity anyone likely to succeed. So if you have a goal, you're likely to succeed. Hit me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, follow me on my podcast, Automotive Architect Sales Podcast. Find me on my website, www.garvautomotive.com. I have my cell phone number there. Give me a text, shoot me an email, call me. I'm here for you guys.
Thank you, Ron. Have a blessed day, and God bless.
Thank you, Richie. Hey, Lou.